So, election day is tomorrow, and many rabbis that I know are giving advice on who to vote for, advice on what are the most important issues to keep in mind, or maybe even if they want to stay apolitical, they'll maybe keep it to a brief message that we can take from voting in our lives, etc., etc. I want to do something different. I want to talk to you about everything else besides for voting. Obviously, I want to encourage you to vote. That's an important thing. It's an important exercise in democracy. That's an important thing to do. However, while we've been preparing to vote over the past few weeks, many of the talk show hosts and many of the people on social media and the people who surround us in our lives have really amped up the rhetoric. And what I mean by that is, and I think equally guilty are people on both sides, is the importance of the election, the fact that everything depends on this election. And many people are taking this the wrong way in that, oh, if this election is so important, then if somebody is voting the wrong way, then I don't know if I can ever get along with them again. You hear people on both sides of the aisle accusing people on the other side of lacking empathy, of not listening to the other side. And I want to talk to you about that, because I think way past November 5th, I think way past whenever the new president will get sworn in, I think we are going to have a much larger issue on hand, and that is an issue of relationships. In my humble opinion, from observing Americans around the world, all the Americans that I'm in touch with, relationships have gone out the window. I'm not talking about marriage. That's its own story and deserves its own course. I'm talking about all the other relationships in our lives. People have lost things like the art of empathy, the art of listening, the art of disagreeing with each other healthily. And that's what this upcoming course is all about. And so while you're casting your ballot, I want you to think about all of the relationships in your life that perhaps you have lost, or perhaps have been harmed, or perhaps can use a good boost. I'm talking about your relationship with your parents, with your cousins, with your children, with your coworkers. We have to learn these important tools again in our lives. If this is something that interests you, I encourage you to join me for our upcoming course called Nurturing Relationships. It's the Torah's wisdom for building deeper, richer connection in all of our relationships. And we are going to do 6 weeks. The art of empathy, the art of listening, the art of disagreeing, the art of positivity, the art of influence, and the art of forgiveness. Each of these is so important in and of themselves. And even while I'm sure you're familiar with these tools, you might need some boosting in these fields, and I encourage you to join us. It's a 6-week course. Starts this coming Monday, November 11th at 7:30 p.m. We're at 1 p.m. if you want to join us on Zoom. Yes, I will post some details below. I also want to encourage you about another issue, which is going to last way beyond the election, but which has become front and center during the election. Whether you vote for one side or the other, there's a good chance that a big part of what's influencing your vote is anti-Semitism. And there's a man, Shabbos Kestenbaum, who has a lot to say on this matter. He was a student at Harvard University, graduated at the end of last year. He witnessed a lot of the encampments that happened on campus, and he has been fighting for Jewish identity on college campuses, fighting anti-Semitism wherever he sees it. He has testified in front of Congress. He's in the middle of suing Harvard University, and we're having him here in Pasadena. He's going to be talking on a Sunday night, this Sunday at 7 p.m., and he's going to be addressing the following question. When our identity as Jews comes under attack, how do we learn to stand proud for who we are? Sure, we should vote for one candidate or the other, whoever you think is going to be better for anti-Semitism. But this issue is not going to go away if one or the other candidate gets elected. This is a long-standing issue, and he has a lot to say on it, and it's going to be an interesting conversation this Sunday at 7 o'clock p.m. I hope you will join me for both of these offers, if not at least for one of them, and if not, I'll see you the next time.